Hello, everyone. A very good evening. I hope all of you can hear me loud and clear. All right. I am Oliporna from SIEC, and I am here to talk about writing task 2, which is essay writing in detail. So, whatever queries you have, you can type it down in the description box below. Guys, can you all hear me? All right, I'll quickly begin with the session. So, before we begin, just a quick update. So, from the 25th of June, there has been a little change in the pen and paper based examination. So, the format is currently writing first, reading, and then listening. I repeat, first writing, then reading, and at last listening. There's no change in the computer based examination as of now. All right. Okay, let's start with the session. Or maybe I'll wait for another minute and then we can start with the session. All right. Am I visible properly? Am I visible properly? All right. I guess now it's fine. Okay. So there we go, guys. Whatever doubts you have, you can like ping me here. All right. So let's begin with the session. Okay, so task 2 is essay writing, which is a common one for both general and academic students, right? So there have been a lot of saying that writing is one of the most difficult modules in the IELTS paper, as in the IELTS examinations, which is partially correct. So let's get into the details of how and when or how and like where exactly you're supposed to write or how you're supposed to construct the sentences, how you're supposed to include the idioms or maybe vocabulary, what kind of vocabulary you're supposed to include. So let's begin accordingly. Okay, so at first I would like to talk about the word limit and then would go into the detail of the format. Okay, so essay writing, as I said earlier, is a common one for both academic as well as general students, right? Now, you will get approximately, you have approximately 6 bands for this particular task. So be very particular about how you manage your timing, right? So you get exactly 40 minutes for task 2, which is essay writing. And you're supposed to write a minimum of 250 to 280 words. You can exceed till 300, but I would suggest you to limit yourself till 280 and never go below 250. Okay, that's very, very important. Never go below 250. All right. Now, coming to the format. Um, Over the time, I have heard a lot of students have asked me that, ma'am, what exactly, like, or how many paragraphs should be there exactly, right? How many paragraphs should be made for the second task, that is task 2, essay writing. Okay. So now talking about that, see, you can make either 4 or 5 paragraphs. It is completely up to you. All right. Either 4 or 5 paragraphs can be made. Now, this again depends on the type of question you get. I will discuss in detail. Give me a minute. So, I guess someone is saying that the video is not like I should be in the center. All right. Actually, I'm going like this is multi streaming happening. So, I'm not only online here, but also in the YouTube and Facebook page. So, I guess there is a little disturbance. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll set myself up. Divya says you can come to the center. All right. Can someone tell me if I'm at the center? Am I visible properly? Guys, am I visible properly? Can someone quickly update? Can someone quickly update? Yeah. And I hope I am audible properly. That's more important. All right. Rajput says yes. Thank you. Uh, go towards the left a bit. Thank you so much. All right. I'll do that. Actually, here I can't really see anything. All right, Rajput and Nirav, thank you so much. Now I'm towards the left. All right, Divya, thank you so much. All right. Okay, so now I feel it is fine. All right, let's continue with the session. As I was explaining, I'll give you a quick recap of what I did. So task 2, essay writing, similar for both academic and general, correct? So in this task you have 40 minutes. For this task you have 40 minutes, and in this task you get 6 bands. So out of the 9 bands, the 3 bands are for task 1 and the rest of the 6 for task 2. All right. So you should write at least a minimum of 250 to 280 words. 250 should like you shouldn't go beyond 250 or 280 or 300. It should be limited between 250 to 280. Never go less than 250 or else a penalty will be there. Okay. Now talking about the format, you can make 4 or 5 paragraphs, not less than 4, not beyond 5. All right. Now I'll tell you. See, first paragraph should be introduction. Never miss out your introduction. Okay. When I talk about introduction, you have to be very specific about what you write. What I mean by this is when you get a topic, be it any, make sure that you paraphrase the topic properly. All right. Make sure that you paraphrase the topic properly. All right. Paraphrasing is extremely essential. You cannot just write the exact or copy paste the exact sentence. Or I would suggest you not to go beyond or not to go a little overboard and write sentences, like maybe a very generic sentences. All right. I would suggest you not to go overboard and write generic sentences. Never do that. Instead, paraphrase the topic properly. Okay. Now, talking about the second sentence, make sure after the paraphrasing is done, you give uh am I audible? Hello. Okay. So after the paraphrasing, you know what exactly you are supposed to do, right? So you can write it accordingly, give opinion if at all it is necessary, give opinion if they have asked for the opinion, and at last you can give a supporting statement and come to the next paragraph. What is the next paragraph? Now talking about the next paragraph is body paragraph 1. All right. After your first paragraph, which is an introduction, you need to come to the second paragraph, that is body para 1, and then body para 2. Now body para 3 is optional, absolutely optional for you. Body para 3, I repeat, is optional for you. And why do I say so? Because say for example, you have gotten a task where they have asked you 2 questions. All right. So you give your introduction properly, then you come to the body paragraphs. In the first body paragraph, you can answer to the first question. In the second body paragraph, you can answer to the second question. Okay, the answer to the second question will be in body para 2. And then you can directly go to the conclusion. So that is why I say you can make 4 paragraphs also. Okay, if not, if it is a topic like what are the advantages and disadvantages of studying online. Okay, if the topic says what are the advantages and disadvantages of studying online, so over here you can give one advantage and one disadvantage together in body para 1. Then in body para 2, second advantage and second disadvantage. And in body para 3, third advantage and third disadvantage. Now you might come up with a question that, ma'am, why can't we make one complete paragraph on like advantages, and the second should be on disadvantage? There is no hard and fast rule that you cannot do it. Okay, you are like, you can and you have all the authority to do it, but trust me, in case you want to score really well, okay, if you are relying completely on writing, now there are few universities and colleges who, like, they ask for, like, specifically they ask for maybe 8 bands or 7.5 bands specifically in writing. So in that case, you have to be really particular. So you need your scores to go up to 7.5 or 7 maybe, right? So in that case, make sure you write in this way. In case if you're getting topics like advantages and disadvantages or cause and effect, right? So in these cases, make sure that you give one cause and one effect together. Second body paragraph, second cause and second effect. Third body paragraph, third cause and third effect. Instead of making one complete paragraph on causes and the second on effects. What happens is you're balancing it out. You are giving the cause, and at the same time, you're giving the answer to it as well, as in what are the effects, right? So this becomes extremely important, and the examiner understands that, okay, the student knows the format, the candidate understands the requirement, and with the problems, we are also getting the solutions of the same and in the same paragraph. Okay, second point would be, never club 2 to 3 points in the same paragraph. I repeat, never club 2 to 3 points in the same paragraph. All right. Excuse me. So in case if you're giving out one pointer, okay, in body para 1, please make sure that you give the second pointer in body para 2 and do not club it in the first only. Okay. Every paragraph, every body paragraph should have separate pointers, one each. Okay. All right. Now, as I said, format is very important. Conclusion is a must. As you are aware, if you are an academic student, so in the first task, you're not supposed to give any conclusion, right? But in the second task, it is extremely important that you go ahead and write your conclusion. Say, for example, you have taken a lot of time to write the introduction and then the body paragraphs, correct? Now you hardly have 5 minutes and you feel that, okay, let me not write the conclusion and let me just go through and revise whatever I have written. Trust me, do not do that, because you are going to lose a lot of your band scores. Okay. Because for the format, of course, you will not be scored number one, because you have not given the conclusion, you have not concluded the task. Again, another pointer will be gone. So just to avoid that, write at least something, at least one sentence, and that is it. Okay, conclusion and introduction, these two things are must. Okay, now getting into the detail. Now, as a like as you already are aware that there are different types of essays that you come up with, like dogmatic, argumentative, narrative, and all that, right? So whatever topic you get or whatever type of essay you get, make sure that you read the instructions carefully. Okay, read each and every question and answer to each and every question properly. Do not omit or do not leave out anything at all. I repeat, do not omit or like leave anything at all, because every pointer or every question will have certain band scores, right? And you are supposed to answer everything properly. Now, let me give you an example. Say, for example, they have asked you to give the I'll give you a similar example only, the one I was talking about. It will be easy for you to understand. So, if they say, what are the advantages and disadvantages of studying online? Now, you gave a proper introduction. Coming to the body paragraph. In the first body paragraph, you spoke about the advantages and disadvantages of online studying, that is e-learning, right? In the second body paragraph, you suddenly talk about how um, offline education is, like, or maybe is not that great the way we are considering online. As a trainer, I would suggest you not to do that. Okay, please focus on the question properly. If they have asked you to talk about online education or online studies, stick to online studies. You do not have to talk about the traditional method. Okay, because I have seen students forgetting what exactly to come up with, and then they are forgetting the main topic and going on to other things more. Let's not do that. Okay, let's focus on what exactly they have asked for, and accordingly you answer that. Is it clear? Now, talking about scoring well, which is the foremost thing to do right now. So, in order to score really well, you have to write, or you have to make sure that you give idioms. Okay, in, like, say for example, you're writing paragraphs, so at least try to give one or two idioms, like, just instead of just constructing the sentences in a very mundane manner, please make sure that you add on some idioms. Say, for example, if you want to say, I was not too well, or I was not feeling well, so you can say that I was feeling under the weather. All right. Or you can say that it was not a cakewalk for me. That means it was not an easy task for me. So instead of just putting it straight, you should use idioms that would fetch you more marks. Excuse me. Now, apart from idioms, vocabulary is very important. I am not asking you to go overboard and write very bombastic words. No, you're not supposed to do that, because, of course, the examiner will understand that you have mugged these words and just, vomiting it out. Let's not do that. Correct. So instead, I would suggest you to use words which you are aware of, which you know already, but you can use synonyms. Instead of repeating the same words again and again and again and again, you can just use synonyms. It can be a very simple synonym, but use that, right? So instead of writing danger or dangerous, we can use the word fatal. Correct. So instead of using schools and colleges every now and then, you can use educational institution. Instead of using child, you can use kids, right? Or children, kids, right? You can also use, if they are talking referring to if you're referring to very small kids, toddlers. So there are like various words. If you're talking about students, you can write pupils. You can write ward. Instead of, children, you can also use the word ward, ward. So this is how you're supposed to use vocabulary in different ways. Okay, now let's talk about connectors. Okay, connector is one of the most important parameters, I should say. Okay, so you have to make sure that you use the connectors properly. Now, what do I mean by this? Do not construct the sentences plain and simple. Okay, you have to make it complex. Simple sentences are not welcomed, I would say. If you use a lot of simple sentences, you will end up, on a very average score, right? So instead of that, try to construct your sentences as either compound or complex. Correct? That is number one, and use your connectors properly. So maybe you can, like, say, for example, in the conclusion part. So instead of just say, writing that, okay, so now I end. Instead of doing that, you can say in conclusion with, or to conclude, to encapsulate. Use these connectors. Now, talking about body paragraph one. So you can begin in this manner. to like direct, like instead of simply starting it off with the topic, you can say to commence with, right? Or to start with, correct? To begin with. Then in the body paragraph two, you can say to elaborate further, or to explain further, or to move on. These are the types of connectors you are supposed to use. All right. Now, apart from the connectors, as I said, sentences are very important. So instead of just using plain and simple sentences, try to make it complex. Say, for example, you are planning to construct a sentence. Instead, just use either or, neither nor, not only but also. This is a very, very good way of, like putting it across, like either or, neither nor, not only but also, right? So these are the types of sentences the examiner would expect out of you. All right. So these are the few things that I wanted to explain, and I wanted to tell you people. So in order to score a 7 or a 7.5 bands, you are supposed to maintain these things. Now, also with this, you're like, if you are writing to the point, and if you are, maintaining, maybe they have asked something and you're just answering exactly that, even this thing matters. Do not go overboard. Do not write, like something which has got no relevance, no pertinence, and then you're writing. Then of course they are not gonna score you well. You have to be in the topic. You have to know what exactly you're writing, and accordingly write it. Okay. So let's take some quick questions. If you have any, ask me down in the comment section below. Any question, guys? Muskan Arora says hello. Hello, dear. Hi. Yes, any question? Hi, Muskan. Please go ahead. Any question, Muskan? Welcome, Raj Sakhuja. Anyone, any question? Or else I'll just quickly wrap it up, giving a quick update and revision of whatever I explained. I guess no questions at all. Manmeet Kaur, Jasmeet. Hi, Yuvika. Meenakshi Kaushik, Ankush, Rekha Sood. How is examiner evaluation task achievement? Okay, so your Abdul, I guess that's Abdul, yeah. All right. So Abdul is asking, how is the examiner going to evaluate our task achievement, whether you have achieved the task or not? So as you guys are aware that task achievement is one of the parameters of the scoring pattern. So what happens is, as I was explaining, say for example, they have given you a topic and they have asked two questions. Now, you have given a proper format. That means you have started with the proper introduction. You have given the, like, you have paraphrased the topic, you have given your opinion, and then you have given the thesis statement. Now, coming to the body paragraph. In body paragraph one, you have started with the connector. You have used good vocabulary. You have written in complex sentences. And question one has been answered in body para one. Body para 2, you are just continuing with the first question, and somehow you have forgotten to give the answer, or maybe you're not aware what exactly to write. So you have, like, completely sidelined the second question and given an example in the second body paragraph and wrapped it up in the conclusion. Is your task, or has your task been achieved? No, right? you haven't achieved your task in that manner. Correct? So you will not be scored well. So if, say, for example, they have kept two bands or maybe 1.5 bands for task achievement, they'll just give you one. They'll not give the point 0.5. So that is how they are gonna give you the scores. I guess, Abdul, your question has been answered properly. Please let me know. Any other question, guys? Anything that you would like to ask me? As I already mentioned that for task 2, you have the main bands. You score, like you have 6 bands for task 2 and 3 for task 1. Okay, so please focus more on task 2, which is very, very important. Now, if you are someone who is trying to practice on his or her own, I would suggest you that we have our online and offline events and examination like mock tests we conduct every now and then. Please get in touch. Okay, please get in touch with us, and in case you have any doubts, we will solve it right then. We will evaluate you. Okay, so the mock test costs only 499 rupees, and in the 499 rupees you will be assessed on all the 4 modules in detail, and your mistakes and the loopholes will be told to you either on Zoom call, or if you are available, like if you are from Mumbai or any other metropolitan city, you can go to our branch and the examiner, as in your trainer, will help you out. So please get in touch with us if you want to sit for the mock, either online or offline. If not, if you are willing to enroll with us, ACCT, SIEC, please do so. We have, our classes in both online and offline ways. So please get in touch with us. You can DM us directly with your contact detail. Could you give us some tips about task 1? Yes, definitely, Abdul. We will, I will, but not in this session, dear, because this is specifically for task 2. We will come, like, we have our online events every now and then. We go live every now and then. Please stay in touch. Please follow our page, ACCT Education, on Instagram, on YouTube, and also Facebook. You will get your updates. We like post a lot of stories, okay, related to IELTS, PT, GRE, GMAT, TOEFL. So you will have a lot of updates every now and then, and I will come live very soon. Okay, maybe in a week or two, or if not me, some other trainer will come live and we will cover task 1. We have other, um, I guess, videos on task 1 also. You can just, scroll down, look into our page, scroll down, and see, you'll get to see task 1's video also. And if you can wait for the next live session, then very well. Any other doubts, guys? Anything that you would like to ask right now? I guess I have covered pretty much everything, like starting from word limit to the format to like going into the details of introduction, conclusion, body para 1, 2, 3, and your, like, the things that you're supposed to write as an or include in the essay writing, idioms, connectors, vocabulary, sentence construction, the types of uh, essays that you get. Yeah. All right, guys. That was lovely having you, and thanks for having me. I'll get back to you soon. Bye bye.